Council meetings are long and boring. Wouldn't it be great if they were short and unboring? That is why I have invented the 5-minute meeting. All right, April 3rd City Council meeting of the Ashland City Council. This one right here, not available today. Just not there. Okay, and we go right into the public forum. The crazy bald guy, who's there a lot, said slips and falls happen now that it's sunny. Watch out. It happened to me, so I know. And the basketball and volleyball courts at Garfield Park had holes in them, and I pointed it out to the Parks District, and they fixed it. And personal injury, it is serious business. And then the Save Our Schools lady came and said, "Thank you, Council, for buying the Briscoe School." And so everyone got cookies and a flower from her. And then a public forum regular showed up and said, the planet is round and there are atmospheric layers above the Earth, and there's a ridge from Japan to Ashland, of course. And if the urban growth boundary gets any bigger, gas dust can go into the troposphere and create acid. And there you go. And then crazy gray-haired guy said, there's an ice age in Europe, and the Earth's magnetic fields are shrinking, and if appointed to the Community Development Director, I will make all speed limits 20 miles an hour, and if bikes and people get in accidents, it's always a car's fault, and something about flying deer. And then this guy chimed in with good humor and said, what if a deer and a bike get into an accident? Whose fault is that? And crazy guy went, the bike. And then consent agenda. Okay, so this guy said right off the bat, he goes, hey, Mayor, explain this whole administrator process. And then the mayor goes, okay, so here's the deal. I appointed a fire chief last year to become the administrator when the other administrator guy fired him. And then he wanted to quit 90 days ago, and I had a 90-day deal with him. And then he wanted to quit earlier than that, so then I cut another deal with him. And so I cut a deal with this fire chief guy, and so now we're onto an interim director, and so I'm appointing the interim guy. And this guy went, I'll have something to say about that. This process needs fixing. And the administrator left so quick that we don't have a roadmap for this, and this interim director concept isn't the best. And then this guy went, but the interim director guy, he's the best. He's a good guy, and he's been working in the city for 25 years, so we like him. So he's the best. So there's that. And then this guy said, hey, the gun range, a lead cleaning of the wetlands, that's a pretty high bid, city person. What's the deal? And the city lady said, yeah, it costs a lot to do wetlands reclaiming. And then this guy said, oh, no, it's this guy. And he went, hey, another liquor license application for Will Dodge Way. That place is a disaster. Well, how do I stop this all by myself? And then the police chief said, well, it's actually a restaurant that just wants to have wine, and it's probably a pretty good deal. And then this guy said, he goes, hey, there's an art piece going up. Thanks, art lady. And the art lady was sitting there and went, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Okay, and then consent agenda approved. And then next there's the plan to create an ad hoc committee to write grants for community development and stuff like that. It seems like the budget committee members and all of the city council members are on that ad hoc committee. So congratulations. Good for them, or us. Whatever. And then there's an audit committee, and they said, did everyone on the budget committee know that we were appointing members to the audit committee? We should re-email everyone on the budget committee so they can be on the audit committee, so that the members of the budget committee can be on the audit committee that audits the budget committee. God forbid that they're not involved in auditing themselves. I didn't understand that one. And then there's the big clarification of council rules section of the meeting, big part of the meeting. There are like 30 new questions about the council rules. The first one was, should slides be sent to the counselors within 5 days of the meeting. And the city guy said, look, Jim slides in at the end of the, like you write a proposal and then like last day you throw him in. And then another city guy said, this is really a complaint because one time we put in a PowerPoint slide that had a bunch of new information on it at the last minute, and this is what it's all about. And he goes, yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly what it's all about. And so then the city guy said, well, let's just say that the city should be more prepared, and we shouldn't put in slides with new information, but then we're probably going to put some slides in at the last minute. And then they said the study session. Questions about study sessions. A, should there be new rules? Should people be allowed to talk about whatever they want? Should the meetings be in the Siskiyou room instead of in this council chamber? And should they be televised? And this guy said, he goes, hey, I hate the Siskiyou room. And then this guy said, I also hate the Siskiyou room, and anyone should be able to comment about anything they want to. And really, those meetings are really about giving me information about stuff. So that anything else, as long as I get information from those meetings are important. And then this guy said, he goes, hey, I love the Siskiyou room, and I don't think everybody should be able to talk about whatever they want to talk about. And then, oh, look out. New counselor said, more comments from all people are great things. And then this guy said, I like the Siskiyou room. And then this guy said, there are other ways to meet in public. Like listening sessions, but study sessions, they don't have to be that. And then this guy said, I don't really have time for a lot more meetings. This room right here we're in right now is great, but we need a new table. It should be right in the middle of this table that we're sitting in the area. And so then this guy said, hey, everybody hates my idea, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to stay in this room. We're going to have cameras. We're going to put a new table right in the middle of the room. All right, then, executive sessions. Should we stop doing look-aheads at these meetings and have executive sessions on Tuesdays before the city meetings? And, I don't know, I'm not exactly certain what's going on, but he said, look-aheads are really short, like 2 minutes, right? And the mayor went, no, they're like 10 minutes. And then this guy said, city meetings longer on Tuesday, man, I'm going to get sleepy at the end of those meetings. And then this guy said, I like the Monday executive meeting, so it's for apparently Monday after the study sessions. And then the city guy goes, well, we can do a lot of different things. And then the city, oh man, I'm getting tired too. The city guy said, you know what? At the end of every little topic, we need a summary of what we were talking about, because when we go to the next thing, everyone in the city just goes, what was their final choice? So someone needs to clarify all of that stuff. And then this guy said, is guidance and direction to staff in a study session, does that codify or clarify the important and or appropriate? I don't want to make declarations of specific decisions or anything specific or declaring of gobbledygook. He said gobbledygook, I think, 9 times. And then they said, should public comment? Should people be able to, should people have to say who they're working for when they go? And this guy said, he goes, hey, people who are telling us stuff in meetings are always going to want to tell us the truth. So why wouldn't they tell us who they're working for? Because that's the most important thing to them. And then this guy goes, maybe people would lie to us, like by not telling us that they're going to make money off of a project, and that they're actually the realtor, like they did on this one thing I did, and they pretended they're just like a guy, like who likes tall buildings. And then this guy went, and then he goes, well, I don't understand why people would lie. What? And then this guy held up the card that they got from the I Love Schools lady who gave him cookies and flowers and said we should put that on the website. And they went, yeah. End of meeting. You're welcome.